Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Saturday Bhagavad Gita class. We are on chapter 3. We'll be reading from 27 onwards. So let's chant the verse. Prakrite kriyamanani
प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि
gude karmani sarvashaha
गुणे कर्माणि सर्वशः
ahankar vimudhatma
अहङ्कारविमूढात्मा
karataham iti manyate.
कर्ताहम् इति मन्यते.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actually carried out by the three modes of material nature. I read again. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actually carried out by the three modes of material nature. Now, why Krishna is talking about this one? Because we are in the portion where Krishna actually telling Arjuna that, look, I know that you can also do Jnana Yoga. Apart from Karma Yoga, you can also do Jnana Yoga. But for the sake of leadership, do the Karma Yoga. Don't do Karma Kanda. Those who are not able to do Karma Yoga, let them do the Karma Kanda. Yeah? And you do Karma Yoga in order to set an example, being a leader. Such a beautiful thing, in order to set the example that you do the Karma Yoga so that you are doing your prescribed duty at the same time, you are also following the Krishna consciousness. And with the prescribed duty, you are also serving Lord Krishna. And in this particular verse, Krishna is saying that Prakrite Kriyamanani, Gude Karmani Sarvasha, Ahankar Vimudhatma Kartaham iti manyate. So what does it mean? Anyone wants to take, because we have already done this with these verses many times, isn't it?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Who's taking the challenge of describing it?
Basically,
So in
Prabhu,
this
here,
verse, the vision of a Vidwan, and what is the version of a Vidwan? So Vidwan is the one who is actually working with the jnana that he has achieved or have collected so far. So we are on the Karma Yoga section of Bhagavad Gita. From Karma Kanda, Karma Kanda causes bondage, and Karma Yoga doesn't cause the bondage, because the fruits you are offering to the Lord. Isn't it? So verse 25 and 26, they are talked about the contrast between the Vidwan and Asakta. Asaktamanaha, right? So those who are enlightened and detached as contrasted with those who are ignorant and attached, and avidvan and asakta. So sakta and asakta, so that difference is avidvan and sakta. So what is the difference between these two? So these three verses, so 27, 28, 29, they talk about this particular difference. So if you look at the Prakrite Kriya Manani, means being done, Kriya is action. So Kriya Manani is being done. So that which is done by Prakriti. And Guna Karmani Sarvashaha. So the gunas of Prakriti, they do the actions. Ahankar Vimudhatma, the conclusion or the condition of the soul is Vimudha. Mudha means one who is stupid. And Vimudha is deluded by Ahankar. That one is deluded by Ahankar. Oh, I did it. And that creates ego. And that ego is called by Krishna is a false ego. Actually, Prabhupada has translated that as a false ego. And karta aham thinks that I am the doer. Iti manyate. One who thinks that I am the doer actually is in delusion. Basically, we don't do anything. Krishna is the ultimate doer, and we are only the nimitta matra, isn't it? So we become the nimitta matra, and actually, the all credit goes to Krishna because Krishna is ultimately getting it done through us. So Prakriti is the external energy of Krishna. External but separated energy of Krishna. Prakriti kriyamanani. So whatever the rules and regulations of the Prakriti are, they are followed by the human being or by any other species. And if we start thinking, oh, I've done this, I've done that, then you are into a bewilderment. You are into a delusion that you are the doer. Actually, you are not. You are basically following the Prakriti, and Prakriti is getting it done from you. So, in nutshell, if we look at the meaning of this verse, if everything is done by three modes, then what it is the reason or rationale telling in Bhagavad Gita, do this or don't do this? Scripture gives us the philosophy within a context which has to be understood. So the important point here is that the modes are the doer, and the soul which thinks that I am the doer is deluded. So that is the Vimuda. So the important point to understand is that the soul is definitely doer, but soul is not the only doer. Soul is one of the doers. So what does it mean that soul is one of the doer? It essentially means that the soul is initiating the action. If you look at various commentaries, around this, so His Holiness Baldev Vidyabhushan, he says in Vedanta Sutra that when a wood cutter is cutting the tree, is the axe which is cutting the tree, or the wood cutter is cutting the tree? Can axe on its own can do and cut the tree? No, it is only an instrument in the hand. Without having the axe in the hand, you cannot cut the tree. So axe becomes your instrument. Similarly, soul becomes an instrument in the hands of Prakriti. So thinking that I am the doer is absolutely wrong. So it is all happening because of the three gunas and the Prakriti that is making us do that. Prakriti kriyamanani. So there are kriyamanani and ahankar vimudatma. So by ahankara, we think that we are the doers. Actually, we are not the doers. We are only the instrument in the hands of Prakriti. And because of which we start thinking that, oh, I have done this, I have done that. So the normal actions which we do, so what Krishna is talking here is, he says actually our actions, the way we are inclined to act, and the way we act is largely determined but by three modes. For example, person wanted to climb Mount Everest. Who is climbing? Soul or the body?
Body.
Body, yes. So it is the body which is climbing. The tool which is used for climbing, like that khurpi and all, so by which you just put that into and then you climb up. So which is governed by the material nature. The governed entirely. But generally, for soul, the gamut of choice of desire is determined by material nature. And suppose if a student is writing exam and a question is asked, what is the capital of India? And the option is given New York, Hong Kong, Bhutan, Kathmandu, and there is no fourth option given. All the three options are wrong. Now he doesn't have any option of the right answer to give. So what answer should he give? Any guess? What answer should
None
he
of
give?
these.
Sorry?
None of these.
None of the three. So, but then if none of the three he gives, then what will he get the marks?
He can
He
write
should.
the correct
Logically, he
answer
should get
next
the
to it.
marks. Well, logically, he should get the marks. So when a conditioned soul is disconnected from Krishna, it is caught within material nature. So within material nature, what you wanted to do, how you wanted to act in mode of goodness, mode of passion, or mode of ignorance, all three are wrong actions of the soul. Because the soul by nature is spiritual. By nature, the soul is spiritual. However, when you are in the clutches of Maya or the clutches of this Prakriti, then you have to act according to the laws of the Prakriti. Right? So, three modes are there, but there is no real identity of those, because as far as the soul is concerned, soul is always Anandamayo. He always wants to remain in the happiness. So, if we look at from the four Varnas perspective, right? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, each one has a different duty to perform based on Krishna consciousness. So, and if he says that, no, I don't want to do according to my Varna, I will do something which is not my Varna. By birth, I can be a Brahmin. However, if my activities are not as per the Brahmana Varna, then I am not the Brahmin. That is what is proven by Srila Prabhupada. He has given Brahmana initiation to all those white people, those who were actually they were happies. They were hippies, and Prabhupada made them happy. So once they started learning, they became Brahmin. So their activities became Brahminical activities. So if your activities can be controlled by certain education, then you turn more towards Brahminical activities. But we have seen that there are examples, people also fall from their position. Though they were sannyasis or they were Brahmins and they have done a whole lot of bad things. Those examples, we see a lot of examples in India, right? So initially they might be doing a sannyasical activities or Brahminical activities, but depending on the karma and when you come in contact with the Maya, it may change, because ultimately the work of Maya is to take you away from Yoga Maya and take you towards Mahamaya. So if you don't follow the rules and regulations of Krishna consciousness, then there are various chances that you will fall into that. So it's always important, that we have to follow the rules and regulations, always remain in touch with our Krishna consciousness. And the best thing to do that is our chanting every day. 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and it forces you to do that. And once you start doing that, then it always reminds you that I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. If I'm doing mobile chanting, then it doesn't mean anything. You know what is the mobile chanting? एक हाथ में मोबाइल, हाँ व्हाट्सएप देख रहे हैं, दूसरे से चैंटिंग कर रहे हैं. So either you do this or you do that. You can't do both the things. Either you are fooling yourself by showing it, it's a pseudo thing, a Falgu Vairagya kind of thing, right? Any question?
Prabhuji, how does it explain the wrongdoings of people?
The one which is not as per the Shastra. So if the Shastra is not giving you the permission to do something, then it is not the right thing, right?
Like,
So now
you
the
know how
question
we're
may
saying
come.
we are just the
Question may
medium, हम
come.
निमित्त. Sorry?
Yeah, go on.
जैसे हम निमित्त मात्र हैं, तो
Yeah.
हमारी बॉडी से फिर कुछ गलत भी हो जाता है, तो वो भी निमित्त मात्र हैं.
Huh? Because we are tend to follow certain things which our mind is saying. So mind, body, and our soul, when they are not together. See, there are two bodies: a gross body and a subtle body. Mind, intelligence, and false ego. So if we try to identify ourselves only with the false ego, then you will be falling into the trap of doing the wrong things. Make sense?
So, Prabhuji, I think what Mataji is trying to ask is that, let's say when we do good things, we say this shlok said that we are not the doers, and it is basically we are just
God is making us
so
do it because God
God
is
is
doing
making
it.
us to do, and it's not something. Let's say if we do some good things, right? In the
Yeah.
same way, let's say if we have done something wrong in the past, or we are doing something wrong in the present, right? So is it something applies there as well, that this wrong thing is not I'm not
It's
doer,
not
it is
us who is
No,
doing
no,
it.
no.
Someone else is making us do it.
No. So wrongdoing is if you don't follow the rules and regulations, then you get into the habit of not doing things in the right way. So it's all how you develop yourself, how you develop your consciousness in order to follow the rules and regulations of the dharma. And if you don't follow those dharmas, then the ability to do things and saying that I am the doer will always prevail. Does that make sense now? Varun Prabhu?
I got it, Prabhu, but okay. Okay, so I got it, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah. Verse 29. Prakritir sammudaha.
29.
Prabhuji, 28.
28, Prabhuji.
Oh, sorry. 28. Tattvittu mahabaho.
Tattvittu mahabaho.
Gunakarma vibhagayoho.
Guna karma
Karma
vibhagayo.
vibhagayo.
Guna guneshu vartanta.
Guneshu
Guneshu
vartanta.
Imatva na sajjate.
Iti
Matva
matva na
sajjate.
sajjate.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, Almighty armed, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the differences between work in devotion and work for fruitive results. So why is he calling him Mahabaho here? It's very clear. Though you are a Mahabaho, don't think that you are going to be the doer every time. So whatever work that you do, you have to offer the fruitive results to the Lord. So difference between the work in devotion and work for fruitive results is very, very clear in the mind of a devotee. So does not engage yourself in the senses and sense gratification. Knowing well the difference between work in devotion and work for fruitive results is ultimately the way we have to look at how we can do the work. Any any realization on this one? No answers?
Prabhuji, I can try.
Yeah.
It's like you are doing something for your looking after your body, right? Because
Hmm.
of course this is body there and we have to nourish it well. So
Yes.
if you want to just cook and eat something and then not offer, if you're just eating without offering, then that becomes for a sense gratification. If you're making a prasad, making a bhoga, and then offering it to the Lord, then you're consuming it as a prasad. Then it's a kind of devotion, right? So that way, that's the difference. And even for as we have discussed last time, with last time I got this point, like we work, right, and we get salary. Of course, we are paid for that, but the amount that is got from the salary, you use it for the Krishna conscious purpose or for the devotion, buying things for Krishna,
Yeah.
managing things
So
for
what you're
Krishna.
talking about is the general principle of devotion. 1 minute.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So where were we? That we are in the delusion that whether we are the doers or Prakriti is the doer. So Krishna is saying here that Tattvavit, the person who is knower of the absolute truth, such a person understands when I am acting as a Brahman and when I am studying Shastra or teaching Shastra, I might become, uh, you know, I may become proud. I have so much knowledge. I know far more than other people. And see how nicely I give classes. Some people develop that kind of, understanding, and they think that, oh, I am the best teacher around. And then person starts misidentifying himself with psychophysical nature and that sort of mentality. So that mentality will cause me the bondage. But if I understand guna gudeshu vartanta, that means the senses and modes are interacting with each other. And basically, in material field, the action is performed according to my nature. Then I will not become bound because I understand that this is my nature, this is how I will be acting. And guna gudeshu vartantas means in this way we will be able to act and move forward in our life. So the point here is that are we able to develop our own gunas in this way that our basic nature becomes in this way that we are acting according to the guna. See, it is similar to if you take any athlete or any cricketer or any hockey player, they have to be developed. Some people are self-starters as well. They start doing the activities on their own. However, they need to be developed. So their qualities are developed based on their interests. So unless that is developed, they cannot act in that particular manner. But after getting developed, they start thinking that, oh, I am the only person who will play better. That is not going to stay for long, right? There are people who have done very long, sprints, like Carl Lewis. Carl Lewis was the fastest sprinter once upon a time. But then after that, Hussein Bolt came. He has broken all the records. Similarly, if you look at into cricket, there are so many big names have were there, Clive Lloyd, and then Rohan Kanai and Sunil Gavaskar, all these people. Then so many people have come. Now the new star is Vaibhav Suryavanshi, who plays like anything. He was just 4 year old when IPL started back, and now he plays under 19. And he's breaking all the records. He's playing 250, about 250 also. So the people are going to come and better and better and better they can play. but it should not make you feel that you are indispensable. So that is the point. You should not feel that you are indispensable. Things are going to happen and they will keep happening as the time goes by. You should not be under the delusion that you are the only person who can do that. Actually, we have, we are doing this third chapter second time. So basically, you guys should be able to, explain as well, rather than me again talking the same thing, the whole lot of things on this. But anyway, but we are recording it for the others as well at the same time. So it doesn't make much difference. But I would expect, I mean, you also should come prepared for the verses so that, because see, ultimately what we want is you guys should become teachers, right? And Padmaja Mata is a born teacher actually, so
For a
she
different
can do it
subject.
very well. So Tattvavitta is that person who knows that if I will not be attached, I will not be bound. So, like we know that iti matva na sajjate. Na sajjate means that the person that says that I will not become bound by this. I will do it and then I forget it. So, all these may be abstract philosophy, but because we get familiarized ourselves to the concept of three modes only will make some time. But essentially, what this means is that when a conditioned soul becomes sadhaka, to understand that I am trapped in machine or this body I'm calling this as a machine, you know. So when we are trapped in this, and people also make you feel that, oh, you are the best one. आपसे अच्छा खाना कोई नहीं बना सकता, like this. आप बहुत अच्छा करते हो, like you sing so well, and that develops kind of a nature that, oh, I am the best. But in the devotion, what we teach is be humble. Don't think that you are the doer. Prakriti kriyamanani gunay karmani sarvasha. Ahankar vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. We should not think that you are the doer. You might be having very good qualities. You might be having very good, but it is getting developed because of Prakriti. And you have been put into that situation wherein you are able to do it. It's your good fortune that you are able to do it. So putting into a certain situation and then doing it, but at the same time, we should not be thinking that is what the Tattva Vitta is. The one who does not think that I am the one who is because of him, everything is happening. Yeah? Any question? Tadvaya Mataji?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. So we'll be doing on 29 now. I need to, because I'm not using a book here. I don't have the book. I'm using my browser to read. Prakriterguna sammudaha
प्रकृतेर्गुणसम्मूढः
गुणसम्मूढा
sajjante gunakarmasu
सज्जन्ते
सज्जन्ते
Sajjante
गुणकर्मसु
gunakarmasu.
Tana krutsa vido manda
तान्
तान्
अकृत्स्नाविदो
Dana
मन्दा
vido manda.
Krishna vinna vichalayet.
कृष्णा
Krishna
विघ्ना
vinna
विचायते
vichalaye.
Yeah, Padavayapadi can read the translation.
Sure. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant
Person
fully
who
engage
are
them.
persons who are unknowledgeable, falsely identify themselves. That is the
Oh, okay. Not the bold writing.
3.29, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Persons who are unknowledgeable falsely identify with gross material consciousness and are full of material designations. This body is a gift of the material nature, and one who is too much attached to the bodily consciousness is called manda, or a lazy person without understanding of spirit soul. Ignorant men think of the body as the self. They accept bodily connections with others as kinsmanship. The land in which the body is obtained in is their worship, and they consider the formalities of religious rituals to be end in themselves. Social work, nationalism, and altruism are some of the activities for such materially designated persons. Under the spell of such designations, they are always busy in the material field. For them, spiritual realization is a myth, and so they are not interested.
Yeah,
Those
you
who
can
are
pause it.
enlightened in spiritual life, however, should not try to agitate such materially engrossed persons. Better to prosecute one's own spiritual activities silently. Such bewildered persons may be engaged in such primary moral principles of life as non-violence and similar materially benevolent work.
Yeah.
Men
Yeah, go on.
Men who are ignorant cannot appreciate activities in Krishna consciousness, and therefore Lord Krishna advised us not to disturb them and simply waste valuable time. But the devotees of Lord are more kind than the Lord because they understand the purpose of the Lord. Consequently, they undertake all kinds of risks, even to the point of approaching ignorant men to try to engage them in the acts of Krishna consciousness, which are absolutely necessary for the human being.
Yeah. So these are the series of verses, talk about the three gunas and how person gets bewildered by the modes of material nature. So like Krishna says in 7.14 as well, um, Devi Aisha Guname Mama Maya Duratyaya Mamaya Vaye Prapadyanti. So ultimately, when we go to the 7th chapter, we have understood by then that the Karma Yoga, in which we feel that the three gunas are very, very prominent. Traigunya Vishya Veda, Nishtraigunya Bhava Arjuna. So all these series of verses, they tell us that don't get trapped into these three gunas. Try to transcend these three modes of material nature and come to the realization that you are now bound by the three modes of material nature. You are above that. Okay, so that's why Prabhupada gives the example of, don't try and waste your time to the person who does not want to understand what the Krishna consciousness is all about. Because he doesn't want to understand. He will keep on arguing with you and will waste your time and his time as well. So, these series of verses tells us that, no, I don't want to waste my time with you. I just want to take the nectar out of this. So 3.30 onwards, now Krishna will come and he will ultimately say that the Karma Yoga also has to be offered to him. And he is the object of Karma Yoga. Krishna says that in 3.30. Yeah. So Prabhupada's purport very clearly states that, you don't waste your time and try to understand even these three gunas, they are actually trapping us into thinking that we are the doers. That's why in 3.30, let's see what Krishna says, Mai sarvani karmani
मयि सर्वाणि
सर्वाणि
कर्माणि
कर्माणि
संन्यासाध्यात्मक चेतसा
संन्यासात्मचेतसा
निराशिर्निर्ममो भूत्वा
निराशिर्निर्ममो भूत्वा
युद्धस्व विगत ज्वरः
Yudhyasva vikata jvara.
Yeah. Shri Shakti Mataji, please read the translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works on me, with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight.
Yeah.
I'll
So,
continue with the
Mai Sarvani, yes, Mataji.
Perfect. This verse clearly indicates the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties as if in military discipline. Such an injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna because that is the constitutional position of living entity. The living entity cannot be happy independent of corporation of the Supreme Lord because the eternal constitutional position of living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Arjun was therefore ordered by Sri Krishna to fight as if the Lord were his military commander. One has to sacrifice everything for the good will of the Supreme Lord and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without claiming proprietorship. Arjun did not have to consider the order of the Lord. He had only to execute his order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all the souls. Therefore, one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul without personal consideration, or in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious, is called Adhyatma Chetas. Nirasiri means that one has to act on the order of the master but should not expect fruitive results. The cashier may count millions of dollars for his employer but does not claim a cent for himself. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. That is the real purport of Mai or onto me. And when one acts in such Krishna consciousness, certainly he does not claim proprietorship over anything. This consciousness is called nirmama or nothing is mine. And if there is any reluctance to execute such a stern order, which is without considering for so-called kingsmen in this bodily relationship, that reluctance should be thrown off. In this way, one may become Vijata Jwara
No,
or
Vigata
without
Jwara. Vigata Jwara.
Virata Jwara or without feverish mentality or lethargy. Everyone, according to his quality and position, has a particular type of work to discharge, and all such duties may be discharged in Krishna consciousness, as described above. That will lead one to the path of liberation.
Yeah.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
what are the main points here in this verse? That Mai Sarvani Karmani, unto me, all karmas, that is sannyasya, give the fruits of all work to me. And what becomes Adhyatma Chetasa? Adhyatma Chetasa is very, very important point that you become spiritually conscious. And you should become spiritually conscious all the time. Nirashir and nirmamo bhutva, without any desire and without any possessiveness. That this is mine, that is mine, because I am doing it. So even after, doing the practices of Krishna consciousness for years, people have that habit of saying that, this is my table, that is my table, this is mine, that is mine. We don't we don't forget that. But that's such a bad mentality. It gets developed that we don't transcend ourselves from that platform. Nothing is mine. Am I going to take this anything with me? When my mother was alive, she used to say that, can you buy this tablet for me? I said, okay, I'll buy this tablet for you. I bought the tablet. Then she used to watch all the serials, etc. जो भी उनको करना होता है. And she used to also read Bhagavatam, used to listen all the lectures in Marathi, you know. But then she was so attached to that tablet. One day it fell down and broke. She became so restless that how I'll pass my time now. So my nephew, he bought another one for her. And she used it. So the point I'm trying to make is that, we become so dependent on certain things. So our attraction and attachment to the things can go to any extent, irrespective of however we talk about, any kind of philosophy. Our attachment to the things is never goes away. And that's where the whole philosophy fails. So in order for us to be always, remaining in that mode that I am a devotee and everything belongs to Krishna is very hard. And it will only come with practice. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृतिस्वभावात् करोमि यज्ञं सकलं परस्मै नारायणार्पि समर्पयामि. We say that, but do we really follow it? Kaya, vacha and mana. We surrender ourselves to the Lord. Kayana vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmanava. Buddhi also, buddhyatmanava. Prakritir swabhava. We develop our prakriti and swabhava in this way. Prakritir swabhavat. Karo niyadyam sakalam parasmai. Everything is a yajna. Karo niyadyam sakalam parasmai. Narayana samarupya. And ultimately we offer everything to the Narayan, to the Lord. But is it only a saying, or are we really doing it? So that is, something that we need to understand, and that bhava will come only when we are doing the practices on a daily basis. Yeah. We'll do 31 and then we stop. Is that okay today? Yeah. We started from 27 onwards, right? Maybe we can do 2 more verses. I hope there's no question after this one on 30. ये मे मतमिदं नित्यम्
ये मे
ये
मतमिदं नित्यम्
नित्यं
अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवः
अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवा
श्रद्धावन्तो न सूयन्तो
श्रद्धावन्तो न युत्सरितो
मुच्यन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः.
मुच्यन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः.
Yeah. Varun Prabhu, you can read the translation, please.
Translation for Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow this teaching faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive actions.
So now what Krishna is
Should I
saying,
read?
Ye me matam. I'm giving my words. These are my words, he says, that idam nityam. These are eternal words. O Arjun, don't think what? Don't think that I said these words to make you. How we can entangle into modes and how we can become free from them. So anutishtanti manavaha. So those manavaha who act shraddhavanto nishyanto, those who act with faith and without any envy. What happens to them? Muchantepi karmabhi. They will become liberated from the bondage of karma. Muchante means they will be liberated. So Krishna is telling here, by faithful adherence of my instruction, those who follow this they will become liberated. What is the meaning of liberation here? That they will not have any interest in these things. Though they will do it, they will think that they are only the instrument in the hands of Krishna, and they will not get attached to it. That is liberation. Okay. And Srila Prabhupada, in his purport, he says that an ordinary man with firm faith in the mental injunctions of the Lord, even though unable to execute such orders, becomes liberated from the bondage of the law of karma. So even though not able to execute that order of Krishna, how is that? Srila Prabhupada clarifies that in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, one may not fully discharge the injunctions of the Lord, but because one is not resentful of this principle and works sincerely without consideration of defeat and hopelessness, he will surely be promoted to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. So, gunas, as we see, uh, uh, you know, Trigunyas, we see Sataguna, Sadgun, Rajaguna, and Tamaguna. So, knowing this, then we come to Sataguna. We have to go above Sataguna. That is, we have to come to mode of pure goodness. So, that's why Krishna is repeating again and again in order for us to make us remind that don't stay only on the Sataguna level. Come above that, transcend yourself come to the mode of pure goodness. Now, before the class, I said, that I like only certain type of tunes, which, people find it difficult to sing. So, ultimately what happened, I have taken a step back, saying that let my children only sing Kirtan. So I don't sing nowadays. You may not have seen me, I'm singing the Gaura Arti for a good while. I mean, there are certain issues as well that I'm not able to drive and all those. That's the reason I had received this, Ayurveda treatment in Kerala. So hopefully things will improve for me. Uh, so with that hope, I'm saying the point I'm trying to make is that, I should not be feeling that, oh, I sing such beautiful tunes. That's why people are not able to follow. That bhava could have been there in me. That's why Lord is putting me into this situation that no, you are not able to sing now anymore. बहुत गर्व करते थे ना तुम ये लोग अपनी सिंगिंग पे that oh, you are a vocalist, you are this, you are that, so this is what you are getting now.
As
Yes,
long as
Shishakti
you
Mate,
continue to be play a toy in a Krishna's hand, you're you're
yes.
at your place.
Oh, I mean, we can दिल को बहलाने के लिए ख्याल अच्छा है like
वही है.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the beauty of Krishna conscious is like, see, it is like, I mean, with practice only it comes, but you will be able to relate and realize every minute of your mistakes also.
Yes, yes,
So
very nice.
conscious, we become so conscious every minute. You know, when you talk to person, whether how are you with in and out with them, and with sadhana, practice, and everything, you know that you are under surveillance of Krishna.
Yes,
So you're not able to do anything for that, and you get that realization immediately, as you said. Even I have so many such realizations, and that makes us very firm faith on what we are doing. So
yeah,
that is really good. It's very exciting to live this
true,
life with this knowledge.
true,
So
true,
it's
true.
it's amazing every minute. That's what I thought. I'll just share it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Prabhuji,
so
when you have
much.
to teach us, Prabhuji, doing kirtan, please. One request, sincere request, teach us to do the kirtan,
So yeah, I
because
think
that is
everyone requesting is that from next class, if not today, we should have 15 minutes some classes on vocals, how we
at
can
Oh,
least
improve
oh my
our
God.
kirtaniya skills.
Okay.
I think that will be, it's a request, humble request with a folded hands. If you
Yes,
can do
Oh,
it,
Prabhuji.
it's fine.
please don't do that. I'm not that great.
No, Prabhu, it's
Prabhuji,
not. We are we are nothing. So if you can help us with something, it will good
I'm
for us.
not carrying any, harmonium or anything of that sort.
Okay.
I just because my father always told me that not to sing along with harmonium or even with tanpura because he learned tabla from Kakku Ustad who was from Gwalior Gharana. And my father used to play with the Krishna Shankar Pandit. He's a great Krishna Shankar Pandit. So he used to play with him. So he said that if you sing without the help of harmonium and without the help of tanpura, and make sure that your swar does not derail, you don't go off note, then your singing will become better. And that's the practice I did always. Me, my sister, my elder sister, my younger sister, we never sang with those helps of things. So your swara, seven swaras, the sarega, by any scale, there are teen saptak normally, right? So तीनों सप्तकों में मंद्र सप्तक, then you have a उसको क्या बोलते हैं नीचे वाला खर्ज, खर्ज मंद्र एंड तार, तार सप्तक, तीनों का अभ्यास ऐसे होना चाहिए कि आपका स्वर जो है नोट वो ऊपर नीचे नहीं होना चाहिए. यू शुड नॉट गो ऑफ नोट. लेकिन मैं ये जो बोल रहा हूँ आप लोग शायद समझ में नहीं आ रहा होगा कि ऐसे हम सारे ग म प ध नि सा, दिस इज वन स्केल. अदर स्केल इज सारे ग म प ध नि सा, सेम है. ये खर्च में है वो मध्यम, और उसके ऊपर सारे ग म प ध नि सा, वो तार सप्तक में चला गया. लेकिन स्केल वही रहा, सप्तक चेंज हो गया. I hope you are understanding what the point is I'm trying to make. See, when you have tuning fork of 512, 128, वो हम लोग कहते थे ना साउंड का एक्सपेरिमेंट करते थे स्कूल में, तो उसमें हम लोग उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी देखते थे कैसे होता है, उसको टंग करके फिर वो उसमें बजाते थे. So like, so what is the frequency of that sound is coming that we used to measure? So that measurement of sound and your voice, there is a correlation between the two. Okay. I just wanted to give an example while the request had come. So let's see how we go. Maybe I can give, I can teach you a few tunes as we go. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So the next verse, Krishna says, what happens to those who are faithless? उनको faith ही नहीं है. So let me just open the browser. ये त्वेताभ्यासुयन्तो
ये तो एतद् अभ्यसूयन्तो
नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम्
नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम्
सर्वज्ञानविमूढास्त
सर्वज्ञानाविमूढश्च
विद्धि नाष्टान् ईशात् अचेषतः.
विद्धि नास्तान् अचेतसा.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. But those who, out of envy, disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered hereafter bereft of all knowledge, befooled, and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Yeah. So, yetva etad abhyasuyanto. Abhyasuyanto means those who are envious, and those who are narustichanti.
Excuse me, Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. मुझे जाना होगा अभी. Please.
Okay, no
Sorry.
problem.
Hare Krishna.
We can maybe we can stop here and we can continue next week. Is that fine?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.